Thank you very much, Bob. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you, everybody, for attending. This is a lovely audience this afternoon. I must say, I hate being a B in the alphabet, so coming in as first presenter. However, we have 5 minutes, so I'd better get moving on. What we were asked to do is to talk about issues and dilemmas and look at the focus of a faculty. Now, I'm not a dentist. I've joined the Faculty of Dentistry this year as an educator. So it's a new role, and I'm supporting the Faculty of Dentistry in that role. So I really want to talk about the faculty's incorporation of IT in order to enhance pedagogy, and that's the principle we're working on. And I want to really look at some first principles. I'll just get to our slide, thank you, in terms of how the faculty's doing this. Now, as I am speaking as a practitioner, as a teacher, curriculum designer, one of my important first principles is that pedagogy comes first. So when I'm looking at technology, I'm not looking at the tool leading the pedagogy, but the tool enhancing and supporting the pedagogy. I'm really talking about first principles here, and many of us are incorporating those already. So then the technology is an enabling tool. It supports, it enhances. So I'm really rejecting any sort of notion that's led by trends and fads. Certainly we have to look at student engagement and what interests students and what kinds of technologies they're interacting with. But then we have to say, all right, if we're looking at some kind of new communication method, how is that going to enhance our curriculum? So I'm really, when we're looking at these things, we're critically reviewing them. So looking at the work that's already been done by my colleagues over the past 2-3 years, led by the Associate Dean, Dr. John Dyson, we have work done with WebCT to support the faculty's approach to dental education, which is using a problem-based learning approach. So different types of technologies have been used to enhance both problem-based learning and clinical teaching. And these are embedded within WebCT, so you're using a learning management system that's already there, but adapting it for your pedagogic purpose. So here the top one is a StudyCast. Now in a problem-based learning, small group tutorial students are exposed to a problem and they're given various resources. So they actually receive these StudyCasts as hand-on tools. In order to support their self-directed learning between their first tutorial and their second tutorial at the end of the week, there are these resources that are then created in-house. So these are 3D models that students can explore as they're working individually or in groups or on computers. In terms of supporting clinical teaching, staff, this is Dr. Michael Botello down the bottom there. He has been working on videos of clinical procedures. Very difficult in a large room to be teaching some very close, fine motor sensory skills, and so they're done up in the resources are placed up in WebCT. Also, then students, when they're working in the simulation laboratory, they can also be drawing upon these skills and support. Also some experimenting that's already been happening with things like using Camtasia for webinars. So Dr. Botello is introducing an assessment tool there, and that's already been introduced face-to-face, but then there's some additional support that's a little bit more interactive. Okay, so when I'm talking about purpose and meaning curriculum intent, this is where the faculty already is. We're moving in terms of thinking about pedagogy and tools and also skill acquisition. So sometimes we walk in with the assumption that students can do, but in incorporating these sorts of technologies and tools within the curriculum, we also have to think about how we provide students with skills to enhance them. And so when I arrived, we had a review of student weekly assignments that were uploaded to WebCT, looked at the sorts of technologies that we could use to enhance the way students were working. This is, concept maps were very frequent amongst the first years. And so we said, okay, what are they doing at the moment? They were doing all sorts of inventive things like drawing, taking JPEG photographs and submitting them online, which completes a purpose. However, were those of good quality? Do they understand the concept mapping and the difference between a concept map and mind map, etc.? And could a tool actually help them ensure completing it as as a nice finished product, but also help them conceptually. So we did a little review of the tools available, came up with this one, then did some targeted workshops, just a couple with the students, in order to teach them the skills. So applying this multi-literacies approach about designs for learning has very much influenced that. In terms of where we're going, we really want to see a little bit more in terms of the work of virtual 3D simulations, etc. So how can we incorporate 3D modelling, samples from simulations? There are terrific things going on in the radiology department. So how do you bring those into an undergraduate curriculum and support problems? Instead of doing it by paper, you can also link into these technologies. However, working with WebCT as a platform with standalone programs, we get a few problems there. So how we move into this direction that we think as a blended approach, combining face-to-face teaching and problem-based learning and clinical teaching with simulations and so forth through our WebCT will be our future challenge. I think that's 5 minutes. Thank you.